to you about his injuries?
Yes, they were.
Thank you.
Before we start, anything why don't you go ahead, Mr. Watson?
Thank you. Good afternoon, officer. Let me start by asking about the video evidence. Are you aware of any private or public surveillance cameras that captured the area of the fountain?
The permanent fixed ones?
Yes.
I'm not aware of that.
So, the only videos were obtained from private individuals, like cell phones or mobile
Yes.
phones. And of the videos you've reviewed, you said the one that Mr. Gibbons showed you was something you'd already seen online.
That's correct.
And all the video evidence that you reviewed, is that all online?
I'm sorry, say it again?
The video evidence that you reviewed, were those all online, or were there any other
I've
sources?
reviewed both video posted online, and I've also had video emailed.
And has all of that video that you've reviewed been captured and preserved?
I believe so, yes.
Do any of the videos show the confrontation prior to the physical altercation? The confrontation between Ms. O'Meara and Mr. Overshaw?
There's one video that captures the verbal altercation between the two. It actually captures the assault, but you can't tell what happens.
And that's the one that you described as Overshaw, blur,
Yes.
seal,
Correct.
hand.
Correct.
If I have it right. Does that show whether Mr. Overshaw had any physical contact with Ms. O'Meara?
It does not.
Does not. It's inconclusive.
It's the videos. I haven't seen it in a few weeks, but I believe it's about mid torso up. So anything that's below like chest level, you can't see what's happening.
And but it does capture the audio of what's going on between Ms. O'Meara and Mr. Overshaw.
To some extent, it's not the entire argument. I think the verbal argument must have prompted the person to open the phone or start the camera, because it doesn't capture everything, but it does capture the confrontation.
And you indicated that Mr. Overshaw had his voice quite raised.
I believe it was him that shouted, "Absolutely not." I would say it was a raised voice, yes.
Other than the video that you described as, a shot of Mr. Overshaw in a flash and any video showing physical contact between Overshaw and another person?
Not that I've seen.
When you say a hand, can you see a hand making contact with?
No, it's literally, if you go frame by frame, that's all you'll see. I mean, you can't really.
And so if you initially see Mr. Overshaw, and then there's a couple frames, and then a hand, where is that hand in space in comparison to Mr. Overshaw's body? In other words, are you able to tell
No.
what part of his body is contacted by the hand?
No, because the camera at that point starts to shake as well.
I see. So there's no video showing where Mr. Overshaw's body was touched, or even definitively whether it was touched.
Not that I've seen.
And that video just shows one hand.
I believe, if I had to make a guess based on the number of times I watched it, it would appear to me that the hand appears after a shove has occurred, but because you don't see a hand on somebody, you see Oldershaw, camera shakes, person disappears. When I say disappears, you don't see him go, you just, it's blurry. And then you see a flash of a hand and a flash of a shirt. I wouldn't tell you what the hand did.
Well, you may have just answered my question. Can you tell if it's an open hand or if it's...
I believe it was open, but
do the videos capture any kind of verbal or other altercation between James Phillips and anyone else on the scene?
All the videos? Like,
Of all the videos that you reviewed, are there any that show, Mr. Phillips arguing with someone, having words with anyone?
Don't recall. I don't, not that stand out in my mind. There's plenty of video of him around the area, but none that he was shouting about.
You said there were a lot of people there when you arrived. Can you estimate how many people were there? And
By the time I got there, 20, 25 maybe.
You said it appeared that there was one group arguing with another group.
It appeared that that was the case, because there was a group that was with Dora, O'Mara, that kind of continued to wash the sidewalks off, even post-incident. Even those who, I think, then associated with Overshot were kind of milling around, screaming at those who were washing the shop off. So it appeared that there were two different groups.
What were the relative sizes of those groups?
It's hard to tell, because one person would shout at this person, and then they would turn around and shout at the person that thought was their friend. It was
Now, this was an event that had been organized.
Jeff, I believe these questions are certainly beyond the scope of a PC hearing, they're more discovery oriented, and that's clearly beyond the scope of a PC hearing.
Just trying to develop the context of how this came about, what was going on, who was there.
If you know.
This was some kind of organized event that was going on with the chalking.
Mr. Olshaw claimed that it was some sort of community group, but I have no proof of that. In investigating this, watching the videos and speaking with witnesses, have you been made aware of any prior history of animosity between Ms. O'Meara or Mr. Phillips and any of the other people involved?
I'll sustain it as to anybody else besides the defendant and alleged victim.
Are you aware of any history of animosity between Mr. Phillips and Mr. Oldershaw? Now, Ms. O'Meara indicated that Mr. Oldershaw, in your affidavit, your Hurston affidavit, accosted her.
Yes.
Specifically, what did she say he did?
He confronted her about the washing off the chalk. She says he screamed at her and grabbed her. I guess she grabbed her left.
Grabbed her arm. And then she said he went to the fountain.
She said he grabbed her arm, and the next thing he knew, he got knocked over.
But she said she didn't see exactly by what mechanism. Did she describe how quickly those events followed in time? Her arm was grabbed?
If I remember correctly, she said it was almost simultaneous.
Did she indicate if she felt threatened by Mr. Oldershaw?
I think she alluded to that he was screaming and yelling, and because he grabbed her, she was.
Did she give permission for him to grab her?
I don't believe so.
Now, you indicated that Mr. Giddens identified James Phillips as the person who pushed Mr. Oldershaw. Did he know Mr. Phillips previously?
I don't believe so. I think some of these people know each other by nicknames and just from being around town, so I couldn't testify to whether or not he knew him personally. He pointed to the camera and said, "That's the guy."
So he didn't provide a name, he just
No.
pointed to a person in one of the
And at that point, by the time I spoke to him, I had already identified Mr. Phillips. So if he had mentioned it, I don't know that I would have noted.
Did he say that he personally witnessed the physical altercation, or that he saw it through his phone or camera or whatever?
He said he witnessed it.
Did you ask him if he was using his eyes directly or looking through an aperture?
Though he was not recorded. I did ask him a question. Well, I said, did you witness it firsthand? He said, yes. And I said, are you positive that the person that you're looking at in that video is the person you saw shove Oldershaw? He said, yes.
And did you ask him about Mr. Oldershaw having contact with Ms. O'Meara?
That I did not.
So you don't know if he saw her being wrapped?
No, I asked,
I'm sorry?
You don't know if you saw what?
If, you don't know if Mr. Giddens saw if Ms. O'Meara was wrapped by Mr. Oldershaw?
I asked him to explain what he saw. He didn't explain seeing that, so I would assume that he did not see it.
Did he describe physically what he saw, exactly how the push occurred?
I think most people refer to it as a tackle.
Well, what did he say?
I believe he said it was tackled. But
Did he describe that in any way, in detail?
I don't recall.
I mean, when I hear the word tackle, I think of football and a person diving around with their arms around someone and, imagining that, I imagine the person doing the tackling going into the fountain as well. But he didn't describe that.
He didn't describe it that anyone else other than Mr. Oldershaw felt the fountain.
And Mr. Spears indicated that he saw this from his window, his apartment window. What's the approximate distance?
If you can set the square to the apartments above the garages, without measuring.
The court's familiar with the location.
So,
The court's familiar with the location.
so did he provide any description of exactly what he saw, how the contact occurred?
I believe he said that there was the two gentlemen near the fountain, and that he heard raised voices. He described, I believe he said, I have to look at my report to say exactly how he was referring to the two different individuals, but through my conversation with him, it's clear that he was talking to Oldershaw and Phillips. And he described raised voices